Today, scores of persons descended outside of the office of the president calling for Jagdeo's resignation to allow for an investigation into the matter. Opposition MPs Christopher Jones and Tabitha Haley said Jagdeo must go.
First, what they do is circle the wagon. You will have statements from all ministers of government endorsing Bharat Jagdeo. And then they will come to allege that wherever the information comes from, that there must be some connection to the opposition. We've seen this before. And again, I remind you to look back during the period when Bharat Jagdeo served as president in this country. And you would see report after report. I remind you of one of the U.S. State Department report. And no less of a person than Bharat Jagdeo himself said that when those persons came to this shore, that they spent a large amount of time with the opposition. And as such, that's how that report is said. Yeah, remember that? So it is nothing new. That is the typical PPP playbook, how they want to put down the documentary that has been aired. It is a most damning revelation. It is some most damning allegations. And we have to be serious as a country. Guyana is known globally. Guyana is now an oil-producing country. And you have people from as far afield who want to invest in this country. And they will do their search. They will Google Guyana. And amongst the things that will pop up in Guyana, you would see Guyana for sale. And when they listen to that documentary, it says in that documentary that the vice president of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana is involved in corrupt practices in which he takes bribe in order for people to get business, contract, etc. in this country.
The reality also is that, as far as I'm concerned, the PPP has no real interest in ensuring good governance. They have no real interest in being anti-corrupt. The United Nations has one particular convention that is legally binding, and that is the UN Convention on Corruption. We have signed on to that. And so we have the ability, if we want to utilize it to ensure that we are not as corrupt as we currently are, as is shown by the index, that we are dropping in terms of our corruption, that we are more corrupt as a society right now because of the PPP. My take on it is that, one, there is not going to be much movement from the PPP unless there is public pressure. But the people of the society have to make a decision as to whether or not they're going to allow this to die, or whether or not they're going to use it as and recognize it for what it is. And that is an opportunity to help the PPP to recognize that we would not continue down this line anymore. And the people will have to make a decision as to whether or not they want to go down this line or not.
Jagdeo has the backing of President Finale, who noted that Jagdeo enjoys his full confidence. As he rubbish the opposition's calls for Jagdeo to step aside or be fired to allow for an unbiased investigation. Jagdeo said he was vindicated in the 16-minute documentary, which was aired on the US cable network Showtime last Sunday. In the documentary produced by Vice News, the claims was made by a businessman that Jagdeo accepted bribes for contracts. Based on the documentary, the undercover vice personnel met with several business persons in the Chinese community who led them to sue, and it was Sue who took them to Jagdeo.
He must go! He must go! He will go! He got to go! He got